What would you do if you had spent a lifetime building a $150 billion hedge fund? Retire on a yacht? Or spend your days on a beach on your own private island? For asset management firm Bridgewater Associates founder, Ray Dalio, he decided that his purpose was to capture the lessons that he had learned over a lifetime, and to pass them on to the next generation, to enable them to be successful in their own right. This led him to write his book Principles, where he shares his approach to life and management. In the book, the legendary investor and entrepreneur shares the principles which have allowed him to determine the best decisions, and to have the courage to make them. These principles act as the foundations for behavior and can be applied repeatedly to achieve life's goals. Let's examine 3 takeaways from Ray Dalio's book, Principles. Ray Dalio considers himself a hyper-realist, and thinks it is important to be one. By that, he means a person should have a firm grasp on reality, and understand how it works. Rather than being caught up with heady idealism, he advocates embracing the many facets of reality, including the harsh ones. However, this does not mean that he does not believe in dreams. Instead, he believes that dreams can only be achieved by having a grasp on reality. His formula for success is dreams plus reality plus determination equals a successful life. To illustrate this, say for example, you wanted to make $1 million. You may have a dream of striking it big at the lottery, and having a large cash windfall. However, in a lottery, where you have to pick 6 numbers out of a pool of 49, the reality is that the chances of winning is around 1 in 14 million. Therefore, to achieve your dream via the lottery may well be wishful thinking. Instead, you may have to face up to reality and find another way to $1 million. This other path may not be easy, and many mistakes and failures may lie in wait along the way. Therefore, determination is an essential element if you wish to have any chance of succeeding. However, it is through the failures and setbacks that you are likely to gain a full range of experiences, and the journey of struggling to overcome failures can be something to be embraced. Or as Ray Dalio puts it, the satisfaction of success doesn't come from achieving your goals, but from struggling well. But how do you know if you are struggling well? Do you have to be happy when things go badly? Not quite. Another formula which Ray Dalio advocates is pain plus reflection equals progress. Pain, rather than being something to avoid, is a feedback mechanism that tells you that you're making progress. However, pain alone is not a good thing. Stumbling from painful failure to painful failure will not get you to your goals. Instead, pain can only be capitalized if it is paired with reflection. And, to do so, there is a 5-step process. These 5 steps are: to have clear goals, identify problems hindering you from attaining those goals, dig down to the root cause of the problem, formulate plans to overcome the problems, and push through until you get the results you desire. While these 5 steps may sound simple enough, in practice, it can be harder than it seems. Everyone is typically bad at least one of these steps. Understanding where this chink in the armor is can help you clear away any impediments. Let's take an example of a person who wishes to write a book. He has been trying to write his book for months, but the finishing line never seems to get any closer. He needs to identify the problem preventing him from finishing the book. Perhaps he's struggling with expressing his thoughts clearly, resulting in endless edits and rewrites. In designing the solution, he can choose to solve his problem himself by attending a course to boost up his skill as a writer, or outsourcing the problem by hiring an editor to give his book more structure and direction. Once the plan has been decided, he needs to follow through with it. He also needs to lay out clear and objective outcomes to measure his progress. This is how the 5-step process can be used to turn pain into progress. Even if you follow the 5-step process, it's still possible to trip up on your way to success. This can result from 2 barriers: the ego barrier and the blind spot barrier. The ego barrier comes from our wish to be seen as capable and correct in whatever we do. We all have a natural desire to be praised and recognized. However, the ego barrier can make us respond to any form of criticism as an attack. This type of thinking becomes dangerous when it clouds our ability to recognize what is actually going on around us. The blind spot barrier is a bias in the way we perceive things. This can lead a person to presume they know all they need to know, and be closed-minded to others. By shutting out opposing views, a person can be caught off guard, or left without a realistic view of the world. To combat these two biases, practice thoughtful disagreement. Seek out credible people who you trust, but who disagree with you. Try to understand their reasoning, and how they came to their conclusions. Exploring different points of views without allowing your ego or your blind spots to overshadow your thinking will not only increase your level of learning, but also equip you with more information to make better decisions to achieve success. To summarize, Ray Dalio's Principles captures key lessons which have led to his success. In the book, he also discusses other topics like decision-making and how principles apply in the work environment. 3 key ideas which we can take away from principles are: not to be afraid of the struggle. Instead, learn to embrace failures. Dreams plus reality plus determination lead to a successful life. Successful people gain satisfaction from learning to fail and learning to struggle well. Secondly, in order to benefit from failures, learn to reflect on what has happened and how things can be improved the next time around. Use the 5-step process to set goals, analyze problems, design solutions, and then execute them. Do this repeatedly, and you will grow toward success. Lastly, let go of ego and blind spot biases. These can stop you from seeing clearly and hinder you from making the best decisions. Seek out those you respect but who disagree with you, and be open-minded to their line of reasoning and point of view. These are 3 takeaways from Ray Dalio's Principles which can help you get what you want out of life and achieve your personal goals and definition of success.